Yes. Good morning, everybody. It's Nissa, the Hypnobirthing Midwife. Welcome to our Monday Mums Club. We've got a wonderful guest today. Really excited to hear from her, and she will introduce herself. And I'm just going to hand it on over to you, my love, and mute myself. Here we go.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Mel. I'm the Sling lady. I run a Sling library called Rapper Hug Sling Library, and I'm based in Tower Hamlets in Hackney. And I run Sling library sessions. I offer private consultations, and in normal times workshops as well, which are not going at the moment because of you know what. And also parents and professional meetup support group, which we hopefully be running next week. So if you want to have more details about everything, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I've got a website. You just type Rapper Hug and then you'll find me. And I'm sure Nissa will put my details there. If you want to get in touch, if you have any questions whatsoever, please do get in touch. I'm always happy to help. So today I'm going to talk specifically about carrying your baby in the winter, in the cold weather. If you have any question, you're really welcome to just interrupt and ask. I'm always happy to answer your questions, or you can message me later, or you can put messages in the chat. So, baby in the cold, it's very much always touch and go, okay? So don't beat yourself up if you haven't got it right at the beginning. I'm going to give you a few tips. I'm going to talk about how to dress your baby, and I'm going to show you some examples of things you can buy if you want to invest in something, and then a few hacks as well, which are free. So that's always good when it's free. So one thing about baby in the cold is learning to layer up, and that can take a few tries depending on how warm it is outside. Layering is better than using very bulky snowsuits or pram suits. The reason why we don't recommend you use this kind of suits is, first of all, because they're so bulky, it's very difficult to position your baby. So it's very difficult to keep airways clear and the head well supported, and keep your baby in what we call the M-shaped positioning with the bum lower down the knees like this. It's very difficult to position because it's very difficult to tighten your sling properly because it is so thick. The other reason why we don't recommend it is because your baby can overheat in a snowsuit or a pram suit. They can just become too hot and it can be quite dangerous. So really, we don't recommend you use these very thick suits. The other thing with snowsuits is that in reality, if you scrunch them up and you tighten them into a sling or carrier, they can do the opposite effect. So they can actually stop insulating and your baby can actually be cold. So basically, the short answer is just like steer clear from them. With pram suits, they're usually very, very thick and very padded. And also the inner thigh is quite narrow, which means that when you bring your baby's legs up, either that will flex the foot quite a lot, or it'll just be very uncomfortable, or be very difficult to sit your baby in the M-shaped positioning. So you can get this type of suit, but like very thin fleece that are quite baggy, so that could work well. The way I've done it with my babies is I use wool, so I knit out of knitting. So I've made a lot of different things. I've made them like little wool suits, so that covers the whole body. What's nice about wool and yarn is that it's very breathable, so the fibers are breathable, and it's unlikely your baby will overheat. So like on a day like today, I think it's about 5-6 degrees. It's pretty chilly. I will have a bodysuit. So like all over, I would have probably some trousers over, and then maybe like a jumper, and then something woolen over it if you have something like that, or something fleecy. Remember that the concentration of the heat is around your baby's torso and body, because that's how you carry your baby, so very close to you like this. And that your baby cannot thermoregulate when they're very small. So it's something that takes quite a while for them to learn. But by having your baby close to you, you help them regulate their own body temperature. So it's pretty amazing thing happening there. But again, that's why we say just layering up is better. Sometimes you might find that their torso is quite warm, so being able to have something that you can open, it's just a lot better than something that closes up, because that can help a bit of airflow and then help your baby cool down. What's very important to keep warm is the extremities, because they are a lot more exposed than the rest of the body. So little hat, I like wool hats. Again, doesn't have to be, but like thin cotton or fleecy hat is fine. What I find out always handy is one that got strings like that, especially when you back carry and your baby takes their hat off. It's just a lot easier to just tie them, and then they will stay on their head. But yeah, anything that will just cover the ears and just keep the head warm. You can try to put a pair of mittens or socks on your baby's hand. They don't all like it, because they like to see their hand and feel it, because when they're very little, is they're pretty much their only stimulation, so they like to just feel them. If they don't want you, don't worry too much, because when we carry, I recommend you always bring hands to the chest like that, so they'll just be like inside the sling and close to your body, so they should stay nice and warm. And what you need to keep warm is the legs and the feet, because they get very exposed. So using several pairs of socks, you can get things like snow booties. There's a lot and lots of options. I make my own baby wearing socks. So I'll show you what I have. So these I'm making myself, not plugging anything, just to give you an example. So I need these, and basically you can put them on, and then you can cover the whole leg, or you can fold them down like that, fold them. And I need them in a way that they spread out, so they last a good 2 years, even more. That still fits on Sebastian. He's right here, and he's 3 years old, and that fits. So that's something, if you want a pair, drop me a message and I can send you colors. But yes, remember to keep the feet warm, because they get very cold and exposed. Okay, so other accessories you can get or buy. Buying baby wearing stuff can be really quite expensive, so it's always worth going into the secondhand baby wearing for sale or trade groups. There are some that got like literally thousands of people. So if you're looking for something, join a few of these groups. There's one called Baby Wearing for Sale or Trade, Slings for Sales and stuff like that. Just search on Facebook if you're on Facebook, and you'll find quite a few groups. Join like 2, 3, and then see if you can find stuff secondhand, baby wearing coats and covers and stuff like that. It's always worth getting secondhand. If not, again, you can drop me a message and I can send you links with discounts if you want to buy new. Okay, so got quite a few things to show you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put baby in a sling, so to show you what it looks like around. So I'm just going to put a carrier on, because so many people have this one. This is the only, so you might be able to relate. So I'm just going to put this one on and then show you the options. So first thing you need to think about is what you're wearing. So right now I'm wearing a thick jumper, it's nice and warm. If you want to feed in your sling, have a think about what you're wearing, okay? Because that would be a bit tricky for me to feed. Having things you can unzip or unbutton, super quick, super easy. On yourself, wear minimum layers or like a jumper like that, and then add over, so like a cardigan, and then things that I'm going to show you in a second. But it's best to just wear minimum on you, so you don't tilt your heart and then the heat spreads to your baby too much, okay? Right, so I'm just going to tighten. And I'm going to show you first a baby wearing cover. So I have one here. There's lots and lots of brands for everything, okay? Don't just go for the one I'm showing you. So basically, it's like a cover that you put over your baby and your sling, like this. And some are sized, some are not. So this is a size M. It's all whitish, maybe a little bit big for me. So this one, I'm just going to pull. There are strings around. It's really you doing, Martin? Do you feel like you're a bit in the way, maybe? Yeah, no? So this one, I just tighten like that. And it's a bit big for me. I would need a size S, but this is what I've got for the library. So it is waterproof. You've got things for your hands. This one is from a brand called Marco Miles, but there are brands like Bondo Bean, Zara make a really nice one. Ergo's got some. So again, you can shop around, look online, look on the baby range groups. Always worth looking for secondhand. So that gives me an extra layer. It's waterproof, it's quite warm, and also I've got a hoodie if I want extra protection. But just make sure you can always see your baby's airways when you use these covers, okay? So use it really if you need to. And if you back carry, you can just basically turn it around and have this on your back. So that's quite nice. It's very easy to put on. Just a second. Okay, so take it off. And you've got all sorts of other things like baby wearing hoodies. I'm quite a fan of them because they keep me warm as well. The cover does, but I find like hoodies keep you a little bit warmer. So this one is from Boba. Again, if you want one, drop me a message. And you've got basically a hole for your baby's head and a hole for your head. So bring it over like that. When you do that, always make sure you try to not cover the airways too much, so as quick as you can, basically. So baby's head and then my head, because babies don't always like their faces to be covered. Sometimes they can hold their breath. So just go as quick as you can. So basically, we're keeping also feet warm, we're keeping everything warm, and I can see my baby and I can keep warm, which is always a plus. And this one's got zip, so if I want to make it looser or tighter, I can zip. And I've got holes for my hands, and I've got some pockets actually they're here. So it's really nice and comfy. You can use it for back carry. What will happen with this design is when you turn it around, the hood will be on your front, so just roll it inside if you're quite conscious about fashion. Like I am, so watch out for that. So very possible to go on the back as well. And then you've got some, so this is in a different brand. Again, there's loads of brands of things. This is, I think, a Polish brand called Made by Zeus. This one has got an extension on the front, so it also works when you're pregnant. So you can just unzip. What's nice about this one is that you can carry on the back quite nicely. So you've got poppers here, you bring the head out. If you want, you can just zip this down and then just make the hole a little bit bigger. So that works for front and back. Let me just zip it back and I'll show you on the front what it looks like. So just very simple. You just put it on and then basically it just gives you an extension like that. And that keeps you and baby nice and warm, especially legs again are covered. You can choose how much you zip. Again, remember, you need to leave the airway clear, so don't cover the head, even if it's cold. It's always best to have your baby's head out and then use a little hat, okay? You should always be able to see your baby's head. If you end up closing like this, you're saturating the oxygen, so you're increasing the risk of suffocation. So we need to be a little bit careful with all these things. But again, it's all a learning curve, so don't worry. Make sure you're always monitoring your baby. There you go, nice and warm. I can still put Sebastian in this one on my back and on my front, yeah? Sometimes we do it when they wrap. Okay, so again, this is just one brand. It's loads and loads and loads. You can get this type of hoodies, they're actually coats. So lots of brands I really like. Wombat's great, Mamalia, Verbaudet makes one, Grazy, so great Polish brand that does them as well, and they've got lots of different options. Again, just shop around and see what you can find. What you can also get is zip extensions. So this zip extension is from Zippersin, and basically, again, that works if you're pregnant. You can just zip it down and zip it onto your coat. Otherwise, you've got some clips, and then you can just clip it to your coat. So you just put your coat on and then just leave this, and that will keep you nice and warm. It's waterproof, so this way you can close your coat, keep yourself warm, think about yourself is important, and also keep your baby warm. So these are some of the accessories. There's lots and lots and lots of things like that out there. If you can sew, you can totally do this yourself. It's not complicated, even it's absolutely useless for sewing. I once made a baby wearing hoodie. I just took like a nice like baggy fleecy hoodie, and I just cut a hole for the head, and then we just went about our daily business like that. So it's not very difficult to do. Okay, so with coats for babies, when they're very small, again, I don't really recommend you put them in. So if you've got like kind of like thick PVC coats, this type of things like that, for small babies, very difficult to position, but you can wear them on the outside. So a very quick trick is just to do that, and then you can just tuck them in like this. Or if you have a pram suit, you can do that as well on the outside. You can always use some clips. One way to stop it from falling, really cool trick, I'm going to show you now. So what I'm going to do is if you have a carrier that you can unclip the straps off, like the Ergo, like the Gemini, lots and lots of options. What you can do is grab your straps, thread them through the sleeves like that. Sorry, my brain stopped for a second. Make sure it's not twisted. That can happen. So you just do it for both. What do you want, Sebastian? Do you need a wee? Well, go on the potty then. Yeah? Come on. Okay. Switch us off him. Okay, so and then you just reclip everything. See, like prepare a bit before you go out, because that takes a couple of minutes to do. Just going to reclip. Sure, you can still reach your chest strap. So if you've got a carrier like this, you should be able to reach your back clip. Basically, there you go. So, keeping my baby warm. Great teething pads as well if they start your teeth. It's great, protects the sling. And you've got a hood if you need to cover your baby's head. Again, try hats. It's just a lot easier to cover. But that's it. Super handy trick that you can do. And your baby doesn't overheat, and it's just very easy to just tighten your sling. Okay. Likewise, if you have like ring slings, you can do the same, like all sorts of wraps and things. There's lots and lots of different options. So you have your baby in. I can see you. So if you have your baby in a ring sling, a wrap, whatever, you can just do that. And then you grab the coat and then you just bring it around. What you can also do is add blankets on the outside. So like baby blankets, nothing too thick, but you can just go like this and then just tuck it in. Simple as that. You don't have to have fancy things. What best is just to layer above your baby sling, so not under, so it's just a lot easier. For back carry, what I also use is coats that are not really like shaped on the shoulder, so like really baggy on the back, so that I can just put my baby on my back and then I bring a coat, and then my baby's head would be just under the collar. But again, you can get things and coats and hoodies and stuff that have got holes on the back, so you can do that. It takes a little bit of practice getting your baby's head through the hole. So there's lots of different techniques. You can just half put it on like this and then bring it over like this. Sorry, my husband doesn't realize I'm using. And then just pop the baby's head out or you can just pull and then just bring it over. You have to develop your technique. It's very personal the way we put things on. It might be a bit stressful at first. Get somebody to help you, or I can show you some techniques depending on what type of coat or things that you have. But once you've got it on, it's just super nice. I personally prefer using hoodies and then just adding things over, rather than having something that's very thick. So like a hoodie like this, and then I would have maybe like a shawl or like a large thing just over ourselves. Poncho are really great as well. Just always make sure your baby's head can be out and always visible. So these are some tricks. Feel free to ask some questions. There's not really that much to talk about, but what's really important is just that making sure your baby's at the right temperature and that your baby doesn't overheat. One way to know if your baby's a bit hot is you can bring your hand on their chest and feel how warm it is. Although if we have very cold hands, that's not really like the best way to judge. But if your baby's looking like red or sweating or flushed, or if your baby's not responding, just take your baby out immediately and just cool your baby down. Accidents happen, but it's just very rare, so don't worry, like trust yourself. See if your baby's feeling too warm, just take a layer off, open your coat. As soon as you go inside, take the hat off, open your coat. Just don't let your baby overheat if you go to a shop, if we ever get to go to shops again, or a pub. So yeah, don't worry, just keep monitoring your baby and you'll be fine. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to tell you about. So if you have questions, please go ahead.
Thanks, Mel. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. So many top tips there. You cram so much in. It's amazing. I have to watch it.
Sorry, I try not to like overwhelm people with information. I have made this as a video, so if you go onto my YouTube, I can add the link. If you want to slow it down and watch again and see the different hacks, yes.
That is awesome. I was just checking, ladies. Anybody want to ask anything? You're very welcome to unmute, or you can pop a question in the chat box. I'll just give it a moment and see if anybody's got anything. Go on, Flaminia.
Hello. I wanted to ask, so I remember well, the zip
extension, yeah.
With that one, would that be also warm for the baby?
Yeah. So it's very thick. What happens is that so it brings an extra layer. In terms also of like layering, just think about how many layers your sling has. So for instance, if you use a woven wrap or a stretchy wrap, or a close caboo, you'll likely have 3 layers compared to a carrier that's got mesh. It's a lot less layers basically. But this adds basically another very thick layer, and it keeps all the warmth inside because then your coat is closed, so your head doesn't escape. Yeah, so that helps keep your baby warm, definitely. Yeah.
Perfect. And then I don't know if everybody agrees with this question because it's a bit out of the winter theme, but I was wondering if there's you could show us how to position the baby for breastfeeding inside the sling.
Yeah, which sling? Because I've got about 250, so it could be here for.
Oh,
what type of sling? Yes, I can show you that. That's no problem.
Fantastic. I have a stretchy one. It's called
yeah,
with an M. How is it?
A mobile wrap. Yeah.
Mobile. Yeah.
So again, I've made a video for that. So if you go on my YouTube, it's really easy. You just go into YouTube and then you type.
Okay.
And you can see the 1 million videos I've made for everything. So I've made lots of videos for feeding in slings, including stretchy wrap, carriers, ring slings and stuff. So I'm just going to quickly put a baby in a wrap to show you.
Now, you're the quickest person I've ever seen.
My job.
You are. Last time you did it, it was like, wow. My goodness.
I don't teach like that. It's not a tutorial. I really like slowing down.
Of course. But you got the skills, guys. You got the skills. When you need to.
I think I have also, like, in my time, put babies in wraps so quickly because I was late for something. I think that's how I developed as well. Okay, so depending how stretchy your wrap is, so this is a boba wrap. It's super mega stretchy, which means that I can feed upright because I can pull my baby down. So first way to do it, I would remove the pocket pass, so it removes pressure from the back, and then I'm just going to pull the fabric down, basically keep supporting baby, and then keep going down until I'm gonna get my boob out. I'm a breastfeeding mother supporter, so that's why I've got a boob. All right, okay, I don't just have boobs like that. So bring baby nose to nipple, and then you can latch. Support the top of the shoulders, always, not the head. Let the head be free. Bring hands to the breast on each side, so your baby can cup the breast and push away when your baby's done. Feeding in slings, you have to observe positioning a little bit, so make sure the head and the spine are aligned. Okay, so don't just like bring your baby, don't twist your head or anything. Make sure you can always see the nose when you breastfeed, and that works also for bottle feeding. I'm saying that, but you just can do the same. You don't have to lower your baby down as much, obviously. Always support your baby, so it's not completely hands-free breastfeeding in slings or feeding in slings. You always need to support your baby until they have very good head control and you feel like, yeah, you can just do it. Yeah, so always support. That's one way to do it. If you have very large breasts, sometimes that doesn't work. So what you can do is use the wrap to support you in a cradle, cross cradle feeding position. So you bring baby through the cross pass. If you don't like both, you can just move one away and use just one pass. It's totally up to you. And then you can spread the fabric. Always spread from inside of the knee to top of the shoulders like this. And again, we do the same. Latch baby on. Support the top of the shoulders. Don't use the fabric to support your baby's head, okay? Your baby's head should be always free and the airflow really good. So either you support like this, or you can support with your elbow, or you can have two like that. If you want to feed in a rugby hold or football hold, you can just grab the pass that's going over your breast, bring your baby through like this, and then same, you just support like that. Try to use your elbow a bit more like that to support. That's 3 techniques. There's loads of other techniques, but I'll just demonstrate today because I could be here for hours. So
And then you said when we stretch, we always have to go in what direction? You said the knee, the...
So when you use the fabric,
yeah,
support from inside of the knees like this. So
yeah.
Don't cover the full legs, but just where the inside of the knee, the knee plate is, all the way to top of the shoulders, neck kind of area. Okay, just like you would support when you're feeding your baby, basically. It's the same. To give good support, and then to stop basically like the legs dangling too much and the spine being curved, okay? Because we want baby to always be aligned.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Amazing. Anybody else, ladies? Any other questions? Go on, that's it. Alessandra, go for it, love.
Hi, Nisa. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Mel. I wanted to ask you, I got, I mean, I saw you on Friday.
Yeah.
So
of course.
I mentioned, the Ergo Baby. I think I mentioned I got winter cover for the Ergo Baby.
Yeah.
Is the one that I got from their website, their brand.
Yeah, you told me, I remember, yeah.
Yes, fleece inside is waterproof outside. What do you think of using those?
They're really great. I like them. They're really good. Just, use them. Absolutely no problem with them. They clip really nicely onto your carrier, but they clip on pretty much any carrier as well. So if anybody else wants to get one, you can clip them like that, yeah. And again, guys, please do message me if you're on discounts, because I'll get discounts for a lot of stuff. So
I will do.
It always handy on your maternity leave to get some money off. So.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect, guys. I think that's it. Mel, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. I will be sure to put links to all your Facebook and your Instagram. So just check it below if you're watching this on YouTube, everybody. And perfect. That was lovely.
I'll drop my phone number as well if anybody needs, and my YouTube channel as well. But yeah, please don't hesitate, guys. Even if you're just sending me a picture to check, I'm always happy to. If you think something is unsafe or you feel a bit uncomfortable or not sure, I'm always happy to answer. It's very important, so don't hesitate.
Amazing, amazing.